You're out of control. Walking away heals you. Walking away is the first step into healing yourself. Because by walking away, you show him.
Like a boss.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pillow Talk Hour with Father Alex. And today we're going to be answering one of your questions, okay? So let's begin with the video. And if you guys ever want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org by clicking on the description down below. And a lot of these strategies you can learn through either purchasing my courses, Emotional Mastery, the Psychological Game of Attraction, and my new course, the Charisma Blueprint, which is a course on how to project charisma through a bunch of different ways, through how to project it through a public self-image, and like in the public, and also how to project it one-on-one. It's the short sword, which is the one-on-one, and the long sword, which is doing it through distance, like being a public figure and stuff like that. You can click on the description down below to purchase it, and if you don't like it, you can get your money back, and it's a 30-day money back guaranteed. Okay, so go check it out, or else I'm not gonna close the channel. All right, so let's begin this. Hi Alex, I was dating this guy since the beginning of this year for 3 or 4 months. Okay. In April, he stood me up and ghosted me. People, I just, honestly, as a man, you don't understand that what goes in a man's mind when he's ghosting you. A man who ghosts you doesn't give a fuck. People, I don't have the balls to ghost people because it takes a certain level of temerity, a certain level of a mitigated gall to be willing to make plans with someone and not follow through. Like that to me says war. That type of shit, man. You're asking you're asking to be cursed. I'll tell you one thing. I once ghosted a girl who she told me to meet her, and she told me she was waiting outside at the bar. And when I was walking out of the bar from a distance, I saw two things. And you guys might hate me for this. I saw a black guy, a big black guy, and a girl in a wheelchair. The photos of her being in a wheelchair weren't in her profile. But when I quickly took my phone out and looked at the photo, I noticed that the last photo, there's a glint, like a shiny little wheel that she's sitting on. And that was her wheelchair. Ladies and gentlemen, Father Alex did the most shameful thing I've ever done in my life, and I walked away. I ghosted her. Felt really bad, man. I prayed for her. I was like, Lord, don't smite me. And Lord, bless this poor girl, man, because I know that was really bad. I still feel bad to this day, man. But I'm like, come on, girl, you got to put that in your profile. Say you're rolling around the streets. Make a joke out of it. Don't be putting it as the last photo, and then I got to do Where's Waldo to find a wheelchair. Like, come on, man. I still felt bad, but still, man. The last I contacted him was in early May. Okay, wait a minute. April, May. Wait. He ghosted you, and then you contacted him. I felt so upset that I unfollowed and removed him as a follower from my Instagram and Snapchat. In July, it just hurt me so much to see his name under my stories, but not interact with me at all. Yeah, that honestly, like that's the only thing that makes me want to choke a bitch. I'm just being honest. Like I'm just being perfectly honest with you. Like, why did you ghost me? And then you want to hang around me like you're a goddamn gnat. Why do you want to look at my story? You're not interested enough to meet me. Why the hell do you want to look at my story? What do you want to look at my story for? Why am I of interest to you? Father Alex, it's like you're talking to someone. No, I'm not. Admit it. Okay. That's happened before. Honestly, I just like I fucking hate that shit. And then when you ask them to unfollow you, they say, "Why do I need to unfollow you?" I'm like, bitch. Why do you gotta make this so complicated, man? Just unfollow me. Why do you ghosted me? Why do you need to follow me? Some people are just weird. And it's best not even to entertain that type of energy. Because the truth is, what's really hard to believe and understand is that some people really get off of that. They really get off on fucking with people, doing passive aggressive stuff like that. And that's why what you did was right. What you did about unfollowing him was perfectly. It's been 6 months since we contacted each other. No, since you contacted him. I did not get over the ghosting, but I still thought about him so much. Okay. I understand, man. Like I'm not here to judge people, man. I get it. Like when you liking someone is a contradicting thing, right? Because a part of you could hate them, but then a part of you could love them. And it's like you're split inside, and your ego and your self-esteem whispers to you to leave, but your ego yells at you to return. And it's difficult because the call of the ego has more emotional gravitational pull, right? And it's harder to ignore. It has a bigger bass. It has a bigger microphone. It has a bigger stereo speaker. You know what I'm saying? So it is difficult. And that's when a lot of your traumas will come up. That's when a lot of your unsolved emotions and suppressed emotions come up, where you have uncontrollable thoughts, uncontrollable feelings, things that feel uncomfortable. So you have to learn how to cope with that. And that's where your spiritual practice comes in. This is what you guys can do to cope with it. One, you guys can do you guys can just develop a meditation practice, like I always say. Or you guys can read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Go to a meditation retreat by going to dharma.org, or just go to YouTube and go to Google and put Vipassana 10-day silent retreat. Or you could do the following thing. I'm gonna show you a video that I did a few years ago about how to deal with emotions. And what you do is that you just promise yourself for just 30 days, anytime you feel this urge or anytime you feel like you miss them, do what this video is about to show you. Watch.
Yo, what's up? So today we're going to talk about how to find a simple way how to find happiness with just a pen and paper, and how to improve your life with just a pen and paper. This is actually one of the most fascinating things I've ever discovered, and like, mind you, I'm not the first one to discover this, but I thought I was. I was like, oh, I'm such a genius. But I found out that a lot of people teach this. I just didn't know about it. It's weird how the brain works. But I guess they don't do it from the way I come about it. I come about it from a different perspective. But this is more about how to improve your life, which is a pen and paper, right? So it's all about this, right? So a lot of stuff that I teach is all about emotional management, being able to regulate your emotions. If you cannot control your emotions, you cannot control your actions, you cannot control your thinking, and you cannot control the destiny of your life, right? So a lot of the problem is that a lot of people feel emotions and they struggle with it because they think that they don't have no other choice, right? So let's say they feel angry, right? The natural reaction of anger is what? To express your anger. The reason why you express your anger is because the expression of your anger relieves the anger. So the truth is that it's not that you're angry, but rather you're trying to feel better. And so you're expressing that anger. And that expression of the anger is you feel better through applying a concept, which is, if I do this, I'll feel better. And as a result, you experience the anger, you express it, and you feel better, quote unquote. But the cure becomes worse than the disease, which is it just makes you even angrier because you're suppressing it. You're not fixing the problem, you're suppressing it. So the best way so I learned this tactic through using the pen and paper, through learning how to talk to girls. Where when you get rejected, your mind immediately creates an image in your mind of you getting rejected, and suddenly that emotion causes you to feel rejected, right? So what I began doing is every time, for example, like when I wanted to text a girl back, right? You know, when you're trying to text somebody and you feel the anxiety to want to text them back fast, I began writing down the sensation of my anxiety to text a girl fast, to respond fast. So this is what I began doing, right? I began to write down, for example, I will write down, like every time I felt needy, right? That was my cue. I feel needy. Okay, time to write down. So I would get my pen and paper, right? Make sure to get a nice pen and a nice piece of paper. You can't suck. It has to be nice, right? All you gotta do is feel the sensation of whatever emotion you're feeling, right? For example, right now I feel hungry, right? I feel hungry right now, right? So I would write down stomach empty, right? And then I will write down the effects of that emotion, of that feeling. Headache, but not just headache, but the sensation of the headache. Thumbing feeling in my temple. I would write down the tension that the hunger causes, tension in my shoulders, tension in neck, right? And so and then you go into any emotion. Like if you feel anger, you write down the physical sensation of anger. Like you write it down slowly. Make sure to write down in a very slow and deliberate manner. Take pride in how you write it. Make that shit look pretty, because it's not because you're making it look pretty, but because the slower you write on it, the longer you are aware of the raw physical sensation of that thing you call anger, whatever emotion that might be. That could be neediness, that could be insecurity, that could be inferiority, whatever it is. Don't focus on the label, inferiority, needy. Focus on the sensation. Stress here, sensation here, anger. Stiffness here, stiffness there, and all that sort of stuff. Why? Because you're going into the raw experience. You see, and the beauty about writing is because if you type it fast. You see, but if you write it, it forces you to stay in that emotion for a long period of time, right? And so what tends to happen is that you begin to notice that your what you call anger, what you call neediness, is really a conglomeration of physical sensations. That's what it is, a conglomeration of physical sensation. But the problem is that you're just not looking at each sensation because you call it pain. So you rather than observing the sensation, you just say, I feel angry. Right, and because of that, you just look into the cause of your anger. That diverts you from observing the actual experience of the anger. You see, so the more you do this, what's going to happen is that because you're going into the raw experience rather than going into the mental, the conceptual representation of your experience, you actually allow your body to process it. You're not suppressing anymore. So you're writing it down, and you're going to notice is that if you do it for 5 minutes, then do it again for another 5 minutes, you notice that the tension actually lowers. So suddenly, if that one thing you call anger, which was the first part, is not anger no more because the muscles are relaxed. Can you find anger? You can't find anger anymore. You're gonna find relaxation. Now you might have the thoughts of anger, right? And it's almost like a spinning wheel. You stop it spinning, and it's still gonna keep spinning because it's momentum, but it's slowing down. You're gonna see the thoughts there, but not gonna be animated. You're gonna feel the thought of fuck him, I hate him, right? But there's no emotion to it, so it's like slowly gonna keep going away. But you're gonna return your attention not to the thoughts, but to the sensation. Yeah, it's relieved. Yeah, it's lowered, but write it down. My neck feels a lot more relaxed. My body feels this. I feel a tension in my chest, but it's not as tense. It's very light. You see, so it's kind of like you're sketching out your sensation, but not through sketching, but through writing it. And so that's what being present is. You're going into the raw experience, not into the mental label and the mental representation of your experience.
All right. So look, the problem that I have with what I just told you is that a lot of times it goes on deaf ears. A lot of people listen to what I have to say, give you things that really work, but because people get in the habit of just consuming information, they never do it. So hopefully what I just told you doesn't just go from to one end to the other. Do it. Give it a week at least, right? Change your response. And your response to this pain will be self-awareness through that strategy. All right, that's the first one. Now let's continue with the reading. Bring your stick out, cause I hit him up with, hey, how's it going? Jesus Christ. You know what? I'm not even gonna bring my stick out. I'm bringing my goddamn choker. Oh my fucking God, Father Alex is a fucking freak. Are you serious? Okay, I don't blame you, but this is why I told you, right? When that happened, it was usually because you saw something in your mind and you felt something. Your response to that should have been self-awareness through the strategy that I taught you. So please just do that next time. Text a week ago. He was responsive. Said it was nice to hear from me. Oh wow, so he's responsive if you chase him. You know, I fucking hate when people do that shit. I fucking hate that shit. So you told me you ignore me the whole time, but since I texted you now, you want to act like you're happy to see me, motherfucker. Where were you before? He was responsive, and it was nice to hear from me. He told me to text him again the next day. So he doesn't even say he's gonna text you again. He told you to text him the next day like you're his goddamn secretary from Devil Wears Prada. Oh my God, Father Alex is frozen. I'm not frozen. We have been texting for a week now, and he being suggested to go on dates and catching up, and I reciprocated to the catching up part. Father Alex is gonna have to go to the doctors after this. Well, now it's been a few days since I heard from him. I feel like I got ghosted again. Look, always remember, people never do things just once. People treat you like this just because they just don't like you. You gotta realize that. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because he doesn't like you. And you're not accepting it. Your thoughts are revolving around the same thought. Your thoughts are an echo chamber that consists of him. What should I do if he comes back? He texted me back, said he was out of town. Okay, yeah, sure, right? Yeah, okay. I better see his grandma on the grave. That's the only way. Grandma better have fallen from the stairs, and there better be videos. High def. None of that. I found a UFO type of footage. He was out of town. His response seems genuine. Oh my God, my love. What are you doing to me today, man? I'm thinking to reply to him after the weekend. Yo, dude. Like, honestly, who sent you? Who sent you? This can't be real, man. Come on, man. Are you serious? Come on, man. I think I'm thinking of replying to him after the weekend. I originally contacted him again because I genuinely enjoy his company. Please give me guidance about what to do. Give me 1 second, man. Give me 1 second. Go to break. As we see, Father Alex is trying to cope with the reality that he might have to close the channel. The sense of disappointment that Father Alex feels as a teacher, because he feels that no matter how much he repeats things, people still make the same mistakes. And now, as we see, Father Alex is accepting the reality that he also does these same mistakes. And as a result, Father Alex feels compassion. We're back. Okay, look, my love, listen to me, man. You gotta walk away. You gotta walk away because this guy does not respect you. And I know deep down in your heart you are suspicious of this. Right now you are interacting with him and you're walking on eggshells. You just want to see him. You want to scratch that itch. Yeah, that's right. You want to scratch that itch. Yeah. You want to see whether or not you could redeem yourself. My love, there is no redeeming in this situation. He does not respect you. He's blowing smoke in your face and you're accepting it and calling it rain. You're out of control. Walking away heals you. Walking away is the first step into healing yourself. Because by walking away, you show him, who gives a fuck? First of all, who gives a fuck what he thinks of you? Because you shouldn't care about people who don't like you. You shouldn't care about people who don't show you the appreciation that somebody else is giving you, right? You shouldn't care about that. He doesn't like you. So what you have to learn to value your self-opinion. And what does that feel like? Valuing your self-opinion is somebody not liking you, but you recover and end up feeling good about yourself after a few days or weeks. That's loving yourself. Not letting somebody's dislike of you causing you to feel insecure and to win them over, despite them treating you badly. You see, people, this is an example of people who know exactly what to do, because she's not dumb, but that a lot of the times we become emotionally dumb. Not numb, dumb. But what happens? Same shit, honestly. We become and that happens to me. I've done that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong. But this is how you learn your lesson. Walking away is a lot of the times is the only solution. There's no compromise in this. There's no change in the dynamic. He doesn't like you, but the problem with these types of people is that they won't tell you. That's the issue. You want to choke these motherfuckers out. I swear to God, I hate when people do this type of stuff. I hate it. But sometimes you're not going to get answers. And you have to accept that and walk away. Listen to me. Just like an itch, if you don't scratch it, it goes away. You were just not coping the right way. That's you were hurt and you were in pain this whole time, and you needed to redeem yourself. And that's how you felt like you were able to move on. But the truth is, that only keeps you stuck in the mud more. Develop a meditation practice. Delete his number and never contact him ever again. This guy does not respect you. He doesn't like you. He looks down upon you. In fact, he might even make fun of you because he says, "Look at her. I treat her like complete shit, and she still comes back." He's gonna ghost you, man. Start the healing process today. All right. And the first step is going inward, observing your inner emotional state, developing a meditation practice, learning how to respond to anxiety, not with texting or contacting him, but with self-awareness. And over time, the self-awareness will reveal to you that you are a lovable person, that there is happiness inside of you, that the reason why you weren't feeling that satisfaction was because you weren't looking at the emotion, you weren't looking inside. But inside, when you bring awareness to yourself, you notice that there is a ecosystem of positive emotions that will give you self-esteem, that will give you pride, that will give you happiness. But you got to go inward. A lot of times going inward feels messier than just looking outside for scraps of validation. All right? So just go inward. And don't text him ever again. Delete his number. Don't you dare and I say, "What should I say next, Alexis?" I swear to God, I'll close the channel. And I will blame you. All right? All right. Anyways. I hope this video makes sense. I'll see you guys later. If you guys have any questions like this, click on the description down below where it says "Work with me 101." And don't forget to check out all of my courses to help me pay for my tuition.